You're gonna see me there one day. You're gonna see me there one day. It's just time to time, but it's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
That's my goal actually. Like you're seeing it with your
Yeah.
proper eyes.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, you can touch, you know. Like people have different goals. Like it can be like psychic stuff, or it can be like more personal stuff. But mine is a building, you know. And I just have to get inside.
I create art to make the reality in my head tangible, you know. It's kind of cool to me to like get all the world that I have in my head and just extrude into reality in different mediums. Like I can use like paper, I can use computer, I can use anything. It's just a way of like making that reality. And that for me that's nice because it's a way of expression. There's people who wrote, there's people who sing. Me, I just create stuff without having any type of scripts or anything. One of the first memories I have related to art can be when my father's like bought me like a book of like painting and just like fixing, planting and filling stuff. You had to draw, you had to paint, you had to do everything. And then at that point, I don't know, I started like creating pages because it was like 300 pages and I had just like one page a day. For me, art was quite never like painting on a canvas. That's outdated. For me, art is everything you can create with your fingers and makes a sense in a real world. Every time I was like talking about my art pieces and stuff, I was saying like, when I will exhibit in White Cube, I will retire. That's the last day of my career. Behind desires, there's stories, you know. It's not only like I'm jealous of that. One day I was at my home and I saw a photo on Instagram of White Cube and it was like an exhibition from Isamu Noguchi. He's like an American artist. I saw the space like behind and I was like, that space is actually incredible. Every like corner of that space is being treated like in the way it has to be treated. Everything is synced and you notice that. And I was like, that space, I want to be in that space. I had an art inside, you know? Because like creating art, it's like creating a legacy in a way of you doing stuff that's gonna be there after you go. Being like surrounded by art really came from when I was younger. My father was an artist and I remember like being in the studio where he was like building stuff with others because it was like huge installations. I was like playing with the scooter, you know, when I was like young. So at that point I lost the excitation with like the art galleries and stuff and the world of art because it's like an autopsy, you know, I've lived it from the inside. For me, growing up in Spain, it was nothing that much to remember. I was a person who was liking some themes that it's not easy to talk about. You cannot talk about art with anyone. You have to find like certain people who likes art. It's not easy to find them, and even more if you're in a town. You know, rising in a town really limits you as a person in the way of like conversation and finding people who you relate to. Deep in myself, I was really waiting to go outside and to go to a major city as London is and try to always like be someone, you know, like I had that urge since I was really young and I was really waiting for the moment to like leave the town, even though I loved my family, even though I love some friends I have there. I knew that it was the best for me, for like be happy, you know, because we have to evolve as a person. At the end, home, if you're more from a town, is where you learn to love. And then once you learn to love, you can fly alone, you know? When I'm in London, I've met a lot of like artists, designers. I met like fashion designers, and they just give me their perspective, and I'm like, yeah, because I want to learn from you, because now I have you in front of me, you know? It's different from like seeing them through a screen and appreciating and loving their work than seeing them in front of your eyes and having the work at your right, you know? It's totally two different worlds, two different universes. And once you have something that good, you cannot say goodbye that easy, you know? I want people to see me as a person who has like accomplished at least the dreams he was thinking of when he was little, you know. There's a phrase of Bridget Abloh saying like, I'm doing the things that I dreamed when I was young, you know. So for me, it's that I want people to see me as a person who has been real to himself in the way of creating stuff.